Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield. All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your life, your business, all of it. Time to crush those goals. Time to get after it. Let's go. You are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10X coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. We're coming to you again from beautiful downtown Springfield in the Big Dog Construction Studio. Hey, we've got so much going on in Springfield right now. Make sure you are participating. Get out there, network with folks, be a part of the community, support local businesses, support local nonprofits, and let's go. We can all grow together. So, hey, another great episode for you today. We're going to get right to our guest after the break. Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing expert, serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. All right, and we are back. Hey, joining me in the studio now, you may recognize him. It was probably a month ago. We did a real short clip when we were out at the West Side Market. Now we're in for the full episode. We got Mr. Noah Schlosser from Noah Schlosser Media. How you doing, man?
Fantastic. It's a wonderful Friday. It's beautiful out.
Not bad.
What do we got to complain about?
Just a gorgeous August Friday. We got Friday Night Lights starting tonight. Like the high school football is starting tonight and all that good stuff. I love it.
High school football brings back some fun memories. I was a band kid, but you're at the games anyway, all things band and performing on the field. It's just, such a good core memories.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. We might have to get into that a little bit because I was in band too growing up. It was one of those things where I couldn't do marching band during the football games because I also played football.
Right. Okay.
So I played football, but then I was in the band for all the other stuff, just not the marching.
I had a couple friends who did that. What'd you play?
Saxophone.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Do you still play?
No, not really. No, not really. It's been a little while.
Break it out sometime.
I know I should. I was pretty good in my high school days. MacArthur always had a really great band program back then. I don't know if you're familiar with. I don't know if they are now, really. But back in the day, they had a phenomenal jazz band that was nationally known, going and winning national competitions and all this stuff. So it was really quite good. I don't know if it is there. So I got to be pretty good. I played alto, I played soprano a little bit, played barry, played tenor, played all of them in some band at some form or another. But then after high school, I pretty much just stopped. And then probably 10 years later was the next time I picked one up because we were doing something at church and it was like, hey, get the saxophone out. Let's all play together and see. And I remembered I could do everything. Fingers worked perfectly.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, muscle memory was there, but let's just say the tone of the saxophone wasn't quite there anymore.
Wow.
I've
always thought sax was such a cool instrument. I've been a drummer since like 4th and 5th grade. And so I was in band all through middle school, high school, college. Not marching band in college, but marching band and like all the bands in high school, especially I went to Springfield High. And oh goodness, I had so much fun in the band program. And so many of my best memories come from my time in the arts and in band and in choir and that type of stuff. So the Friday Night Lights thing, like it was seriously like, it brings me back to those games and stuff. Yeah. It's cool.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get into a little bit of, you said you grew up here in Springfield, right? Yeah. So you've been here all your life?
All my life.
All right.
My mom and dad are from here. I was born and raised. I was product of District 186 all the way through. So shout out Owen Marsh, Lincoln Magnet School in Springfield High.
There you go.
Lincoln Magnet was actually the first place where I caught the technology bug. I've always had an interest in creating things with technology. And that really came to I can actually do this type of feeling in Lincoln Magnet School, because everyone at Lincoln at the time when I was there had the opportunity to have their own laptop and take home the laptops.
okay.
And every class had a multimedia project. And I found pretty quickly that I was pretty adept at messing with the tech and getting what I wanted out of the projects. And I spent way too much time on like the details. And even my teachers were like, Noah, it's good enough. Like you can be done editing the thing.
Right.
But it was just something where I was like, no, I have to make this tech thing as best as I possibly can because I knew that I could. And so it's cool to see how that has fast forward. Gosh, how many years has it been? I graduated in 2012 from there. It's 2026 now. So fast forward 14 years. And here I am, and I can trace it all the way back to I was a student at Lincoln Magnet School, and that's where all this got started.
Exactly. And you still have that eye for, hey, this is going to get done right because I know I can do it right.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. So did you know all the way through high school that, hey, I'm probably going to end up doing something in media?
Sort of, kind of. When I was in high school, I was introduced to music production. And so that was the thing that for a long time really captivated me. And when I was a college student, I was a double major in music industry studies with an audio engineering emphasis. So literally all audio all the time in the studios, working on music, working on podcasts, that type of stuff. But I was also a digital media major. And so that was where audio and video and graphic design and web development, a little bit of coding and all that stuff, the two of those majors really meshed together really well. And so I had a lot of friends who were musicians and wanted to go on to Nashville and like tour and that type of stuff. And I was like, I like making the music. I like performing. I mean, obviously I play drums at Westside, but I don't know if I'm built for the touring life. And I don't know if I'm built for moving down to Nashville and that type of thing. It wasn't something that really spoke to me in the way that being in a studio, in a place where I can get in the weeds and I have all the creative say into what I create and how I create it. And also the music business is just hard.
Oh yeah.
It's hard.
Definitely.
And so I was like, as much as I like the music production stuff, I don't know if it's really what I'm called to do. And when I finished up at Greenville, I went and got my master's at Illinois State, and my master's was in creative technologies. So it was really just, putting a magnifying glass on all things audio, video, graphic design, like all that, just intense. And I found I'm really comfortable with this. Like this
is like you're at home in that, right?
Exactly. And it was a really great experience to hone those skills and really get better at the things that I felt like already came natural to me anyway. So yeah, it's amazing where God has taken my life. And you think you're going to do one thing, you pivot a little bit. In life, you got to learn to pivot. Yeah. And so that was one of those things where I was like, if you talked to high school Noah, if I were to talk to him and I told him what I'm doing right now, he'd probably be like, oh, I thought we were going to produce music down in Nashville.
Right. I thought we were going down.
Yeah, I can see us doing that too.
Right.
I can see us owning a business and providing quality media and quality video to local businesses. Like, oh, what you're making is really cool. I think younger me would be proud of older me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So younger you at Springfield High, how heavy were you into the digital media stuff when you were there?
I did some graphic design. I designed a few t-shirts. That's where I really kind of started dabbling into music production. And I just had GarageBand at the time. Yeah. Eventually, in college, I graduated to Pro Tools and to Logic Pro and that type of stuff. But I was really into the musicianship of my life at that point. And so that's where I was doing choir. I was doing all the bands. I was in the musicals and plays and that type of stuff. So the creative, artsy area is always kind of where I've lived. And so being able to be techie and have that arts background has been a cool way to, everything collides.
Yeah, absolutely. So after college, which I thought I saw a post not too long ago, did you go back to Greenville for something to shoot some stuff?
Yeah, which was crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have a couple videos that are on recent projects that I've made. I'm currently working on that video where I actually go back to Greenville and here's me in the worship center and here's me in the dining hall. And it was just wild because, I graduated in 2020 and so much has changed, but so much is exactly the same.
Right. Feel like you step back in, hey, I'm right, I'm back.
Oh yeah, I'm back in almost my second home, you know?
Right. That's very cool. So after Greenville, you went straight to the Masters then?
Straight to the Masters.
So then after the Masters, did you get a job somewhere else before you started your own business? Where you at?
I did, yeah. I worked at a wonderful church called Eastview Christian Church up in Bloomington Normal and worked there for a couple of years. And then February 2024, moved back here.
All right. And is that the point where you said, hey, I'm going to start this thing out on my own and see where it goes?
When I came back into town, I was like, okay, what's the next thing that God has for me? And I was kind of like looking at job openings and positions, but nothing really felt right. And I was like, well, I'm in my mid-20s now. I feel like if there was anything that I could do to further the community and help out the places that I'm really passionate about, like local businesses, Christian ministries, nonprofits, I feel like I could do that really well as my own boss and as a small business owner. And of course, everyone says like, hey, when you're young, that's really when you want to try all the things,
Right.
start the business, really give it all you got, see how it goes. And I was like, well, this seems like the perfect opportunity to do it. And I know there are people who could use my skills. And so here we are.
There you go. So what was the initial idea when you started? You say, hey, this is what I'm going to focus on. This is what Noah Schlosser Media is going to be.
Yeah. So Noah Schlosser Media exists to illuminate the work that local businesses, Christian ministries, and nonprofits are doing in the Springfield area. I grew up in a local business family. My dad is a general dentist here in town. Shout out to Dr. William T. Schlosser, DMD. Go see him. And he's been doing this for more than 30 years. My mom has also been an integral part of his business. She has a PR and communications and management background. And so they've been not only great mentors, but also they've been a great support system. And I'm really fortunate that they've been so supportive of me supporting Springfield.
Right.
Yeah. And what I found is that local businesses, a lot of them know that they need video, but they don't know where to start or what that process looks like. Or some of them are so intimidated by the camera that they're like, it makes me nervous. I know I need to, but I don't know where to start. So my goal is to make video not only affordable, but also accessible. My goal is to make it fun. My goal is to illuminate what Springfield is doing. And Springfield has so many wonderful businesses and ministries that aren't getting the recognition that they deserve or need because they're not leveraging what video can do for them.
Right. And you do beautiful work. Everything I've seen of yours is awesome.
Thank you. And it's fun, it's one of those things that I genuinely enjoy. And I do think that everybody has been gifted by God for certain things. And so technology and the ability to learn tech and tell good stories, I think, is probably one of my gifts. And I'm really grateful that I get to do what I do in a city that I love, with people that I love, with technology that I love. Right. It's a really positive environment to be in. And it's, to me, really, really purposeful. I think in general, if you're serving people with the skills that you have, you could be doing your business for any number of reasons. If you're only doing it for the paycheck, I think you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you're doing it to help your community and serve your community, that is, I think, a very honorable thing to do. And that's what I try to emulate in my business.
So you mentioned that he's your mentor. That's got to be very valuable to you, having over both of them really, having 30 years experience in a small business to be able to impart some of that knowledge onto you, right?
Oh, definitely. And it's one of those things where I may have ideas on what I think would work for the business, but then my folks, and Dad especially, is like, well, what if you tried it this way? Because XYZ reason, 30 years of thoughts, and same with Mom as well. What if you tried XYZ, this type of thing? I'm like, okay, I'll give that a go. I like my idea, but also you've been doing this for 30 years.
Right.
So,
been successful. So
yeah. So it's been really cool. And they've been really supportive in what I've been trying to do. And one of the things that I noticed when I came back to town, for instance, Dad and I were talking about my skills that I want to offer businesses. And I mentioned to him, I was like, hey, Dad, like your website, for instance, it doesn't have any video on it. There's no motion. And statistically, people are more likely to stay on your website and remember the things that you say if you have a video on your website.
Right.
And so I was like, why don't we start there and see how this goes? So that's been kind of the vibe with most of the local businesses that I've worked with. A lot of them have some idea of, I want to have some type of video on my website, but I don't really know where to start. Or maybe they think it's too expensive or just unreachable, or it's just a lot of work. And so that's where I can come in as the expert professional and be like, actually, my goal is to make it affordable for local businesses and Christian ministries and nonprofits. And it can be fun and it can be way easier than you expect. And let's partner on that and work through that together so that we can help put your business into some great light through quality video.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your process with them when they come to you and say, I think I need some stuff, but I'm not real sure? What do you walk them through to get them to that point?
Yeah. So I'll typically talk about, okay, what are your goals? What's your vision? Ultimately, what do you want your ideal client to do? Are you trying to raise money for something? Are you trying to get more clients? Are you trying to get more attendance? It's always fun to explain what it is that video can help out with. And I think, the world is so digital. Everyone's got a phone in their pocket. Everyone's looking at video all the time. And so it's like they know they need to break through the noise, but they don't know how.
Right.
And so here I am.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I mean, a 30-second video clip can say more than a 15-page document.
Yeah,
That's,
it's
that's
like,
sitting there,
if a picture is worth 1,000 words, what's a moving picture worth?
Right, exactly. So how did it feel, that first client that you got? What was that feeling like? It was like, hey, I got a business here.
Yeah, it was really cool. The first few clients I had were family referrals or friends of the family who knew who I was and knew what I could create. I still kind of had the small business pool noodle on, the water wings.
Right.
So they were just wonderful to work with, and just the fact that they trusted me enough to say, okay, let's give this guy a go. And Noah, we've known you since forever. We trust your vision. Let's see what happens. It really meant the world. And I'll give a shout out to the Brinkerhoff Mansion. They're wonderful people and good family friends. And Hall's Harley Davidson, they don't exist as Hall's Harley Davidson anymore, but they were also one of my first clients. And just such a cool way of, as an adult, being able to work with these adults who I've known for a decent part of my life and give back in that way.
Yeah. And that'd have to be a fun one too. Go out there shooting all the motorcycles and everything.
Was so cool.
Come on.
That was so cool. Yeah.
Do you have a motorcycle?
I do not.
No, me neither. Just curious.
Maybe someday. No,
right. Hey, there you go. There's a goal for you.
I have a Ford Escape, and that's probably as wild as I'm getting.
Yeah, I've never had a motorcycle. I mean, there might have been one time when I was a teenager saying, it might be cool to get a motorcycle, but no, never did.
All the superheroes, all the cool action heroes and stuff have them.
That's right. That's
right.
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to drive one or ride one, however you.
Yeah. I guess neither of us are riders, so I guess we don't know. Ride, drive, whatever they say. I guess
I do know some people who do have them, and they're pretty neat.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Do you do drones as well? You use drones a lot?
I do have a drone. Yeah, I am a FAA certified Part 107 drone pilot. I got my UAV license in 2024. It was so interesting how that came about, because I started off with one camera and a couple lights, and over time I've built my gear, and now I have a really great arsenal of gear that I can use on shoots. And I'd been considering getting a drone, but at the time, especially really early on in the business, I was like, not quite yet. I haven't had any clients ask for this yet, and I feel like I need to, I still have the water wings on.
Right.
And then at some point, there came a time where, in the course of a week, I had 5 different people ask me about drones. It was like, hey, Noah, do you fly drones?
Right.
Do you have a drone? If you got a drone, we have a few projects where we'd love to hire you on. We would totally trust you to capture our business with a drone. We'd love to see what our business would look like with a drone. Could you do this? And I'm like, I think this is God telling me to get a drone.
Hey, let's go get a drone. Here we go.
So that was a really cool experience. There's a lot to learn in order to have a license for flying an unmanned aerial vehicle. That's the UAV. I studied for a month, and it's a government test. You can fly a drone without a license for fun.
Right.
But, to do it commercially, you have to have a license, like a car. And I studied for a month, took a government test, and it was intimidating. There's a camera looking at you the whole time. They pat you down before you take the test. It's official.
Wow.
And I passed the test, and now have a couple drones in my arsenal now.
There you go. Yeah. How big are your drones? You got the big ones?
They're about 250 grams. So they're the Mini 4 Pros. They're great. And for what I'm doing, they're exactly what I need.
Yeah. I've got one of the minis, but it's the smaller version of it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do you have a favorite type of shot that you get? Just between drones or whatever, do you have a favorite that you really love doing?
I will say, we're on the topic of drones. There's a reason that everyone loves seeing their business from an aerial perspective. Or Springfield from an aerial perspective. Early on, when I was getting used to flying the drone and practicing with it, and kind of also marketing myself, I was making little drone videos of Springfield parks and really beautiful scenic spaces in the Springfield area.
Yeah.
And that's how I got one of my clients. I posted a video of the Carillon in the winter, and it had its Christmas lights up, and it was during freshly fallen snow. And it was, I think, one of the most beautiful drone shots I've ever gotten. It was during a sunset. And next thing you know...
Oh, man, you had everything going for it. The sunset and the snow, and oh my.
Next thing you know, I have another good friend and dear client of mine who reached out and was like, hey, that looks amazing. Can we hire you for something? And so that relationship has been going on since then, and it's been excellent. And so, yeah, drone shots are fantastic. There's nothing like seeing, especially when the timing's right. The sun is great. The weather's cooperating. It's really a magical thing to see.
Beautiful. I saw one of your social posts not too long ago when you were talking about audio. I think you did like a this is bad audio and this is good audio, I think. Something like that. It was really cool because I'm like, my man. So how important is that?
I would
realize it, I don't think.
I don't think they do. I would argue, a good video will speak volumes, audio speaks even more. And in fact, there was a study that was shown that people would rather watch a bad quality video with good quality audio than watch a good quality video with bad quality audio. It's that important.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm so grateful that a good chunk of my background is in audio engineering and music production, because I kind of feel like I have a cheat code to knowing what to do and making really solid audio along with really high quality video.
Right.
It's that important.
No doubt about it. And I think a lot of people don't realize the time it can take to master that, to really get that correct, to where you're getting that beautiful sound coming out.
It's so important. And if there's any takeaways that if anyone watches this, invest in a really good quality microphone. It doesn't have to be $1 million, but if you can tell if something is good quality or poor quality.
Yes.
And having good audio will serve you very well in the long run.
No doubt about it. Yeah, that was when I first started the podcast, I was looking at stuff, and I actually did another podcast before this one for a school. But when I was looking at stuff, I was like, yeah, I can't go cheap on the initial one, because right out the gate sounding terrible. I can't do that.
Yeah,
so you got to get good mics.
You do, yeah. You have good mics.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I can tell you. You have great quality audio. So
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you, my favorite one I actually don't use on the podcast. I have the SM7B.
Oh yeah.
I have that's the big dog broadcast one and I love the sound of that one. I just don't use it on the set here because just this one has the interface built into the mic. So
it's handy.
It just makes it a little more handy for our purposes here.
Yep.
But if I'm doing a solo episode sometime where I'm riffing on something, I'm going into that bad boy because
there we go.
I love that one. Have you used one of those? Just the depth of those.
We had those back in college, and actually back at Greenville. One of the things I loved about Greenville was that their audio engineering and music production world, they had studios, they had an entire mic locker that was like as big as this room, and they had like every single thing you could choose from. And some 7Bs were definitely one of those, and they had Sennheisers and oh gosh,
good ones too, yeah,
like everything. And you were taught how to use them and how to use them correctly and what each one of them sounded like, so you could get the best one for the correct purpose. And it was a serious deep dive. But yeah, good quality audio is massively important.
Did they have any of the older ones there in the locker that you could get that old school sound?
Yeah. They had some Elvis sounding microphones, and they had like really new ones where it was one microphone, but it had like emulations of 10 different mics on it. And it's just fascinating stuff.
I might have to get one of those. That'd be fun to do on the podcast sometimes.
It's pretty cool.
Hey, we're going back to the 50s today's, folks. This is what we're going to sound like. That would be fun. Yeah, no, it's crazy how beneficial that is, because you're right. It could be a great looking video, but if the audio is trash, people aren't going to listen. It's got that hollow sound or echoey, and it's just not good. It's just not good.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where it really comes in handy to have a professional come in and know all the tips and tricks to help you both look and sound good.
Right. Any small tips or tricks you could give folks out there on the audio or video side? Maybe they're doing something on their own. Anything that people tend to miss that's an easy thing that they could flip? For
sure. There's a couple things I can think of. We've already touched on the good audio side of things. Having good audio, I think, I'm going to put this on my tombstone.
Yeah, I'll be on the hill with you for that one.
Is incredibly important. You got to have it. I would also say good lighting is really important. I know you have a couple of these panel lights here, and they're doing the job great. You don't have to have incredibly complex lighting system.
Right.
If you have one side of your face that has more light than the other one, and that's like super simple. You can look this type of stuff up too.
Right.
But you don't want to look like super flat on video. You want to have a little bit of depth, a little bit of shadow on one side, a little bit of light on the other one. It's the quote unquote cinematic look, right?
Absolutely. Okay.
Little, you can, that's for free.
There you go. Free one there. Free one there. For anything else, give Noah a shout. So, over the last couple of years, how has the business grown or changed?
Oh man. Well, I'm constantly learning. Originally, I started off with one camera and a couple of lights I got that was like a $100 kit for Christmas. I'm very proud to say that now I have much more very professional gear in the arsenal, which helps with the end product.
Yeah.
Also, like I'm consistently trying to learn new techniques and learn new models of shooting and learning new gear all the time and trying to figure out like what's something that I didn't know at the beginning or didn't know last week that I think will help me out in the future. Whether that's an editing technique, whether that's a way I handle things on like the administrative side. I'm always trying to look for something that'll make me more efficient. And I'm trying to bump up the quality of the work I'm doing all the time and bump up the level of efficiency so I can get it done faster. Those are things that once the training wheels come off,
right,
it's like, okay, this is the stuff that really matters. It's how quickly can you get things done? How high quality can you make things at the same time? And what are things that I continually need to learn? What are things I don't know? I mean, I've been doing this for 2.5 years now. There are experts who will say, oh, I've been doing this for 40 years. There's always going to be something that you're going to have to learn and relearn or go back to. I thought I was doing it correct this way, but there's another way that's yields something slightly different that actually could work even better here. And it's one of those things to be a lifelong learner.
Right.
It's so important.
No doubt about it. Now you're talking about how quickly you need to turn things around. That's because companies, when they have a video shoot, they get it done. They want the clips back as soon as possible. But just because I think there's probably a little bit of a misconception out there that because everybody has their phone, everybody does videos,
right? How
quickly you should be able to turn around some of that stuff. But it's a time-consuming process to get a really great piece.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think anything that is worth doing that is going to be quality is going to take time. There's no shortcuts in the sense of making something quality. So say for instance, you have a project that the end product is going to be a 30-second long video, and maybe the recording of it doesn't take that long at all. I can guarantee you the reason that it looked that easy and that the editing maybe was that easy was because there was a ton of pre-production and planning done on the front end that did most of the heavy lifting.
Sure.
So that's where there's this misconception of like, oh, video's easy. Video is not easy.
Right.
Quality video is not easy.
Right.
Now, I will say there is a place for like phone video and like there's a reason most videos that you see on social media are just shot with a phone.
Right.
It's made things so ridiculously accessible
Mm-hmm.
and it's brought so many great businesses and ideas and ministries to the forefront. It's just doing stuff with your phone. But there is something to be said about your website and your social media act as like your storefront these days. And so if they see a poor audio quality, shaky, bad lighting iPhone video, that's going to leave them with a bad first impression.
Yeah.
Right. And the last thing you want as a business or as a ministry or as a nonprofit is to have a bad first impression.
Yeah. So you might not get another impression after that.
Right. Yeah. People's impressions are made in nanoseconds, in split seconds. Right.
Yep.
So you want to have as many good tools in your arsenal working for you as possible.
Yeah. And then from a marketing perspective, there's room for both the professional, high quality stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But then also from a social media perspective, hey, it's sometimes nice to just throw your face up there and talk as the owner of the business. It doesn't have to be a super polished thing. It's good to have a mix of those two.
That's 100% true. I think one of the things that was a little tricky for me at the beginning was I felt like posting like every single finished product that I had. And I still post most of my finished products on my social media, but what I found is actually worked better for engagement and likes and all that type of stuff is the behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that either with my phone or I have a little camera that I can attach to either my hat or a magnet on my chest.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that really like engages people. The final high quality end product 100% reaches people as well. And obviously I'm really proud of those, but people love seeing behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
There's something about it that's just like, oh, how did he do that?
Yeah, it's captivating. People like to get into that stuff.
Yeah, and I think it also humanizes the brand too. A business is a business, but a business is also you. And so I guess this is another free tip from Noah Schlosser. You yourself as a business should totally 100% be on camera. And it doesn't always have to be the promo of something. It can just be you talking about why you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
Or why you love doing what you're doing, or here's a day in the life. The human aspect is always going to be vital to businesses.
Yeah, so important. People want to see both. They want to see the person.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk a lot in 10X about, there's B2B, business to business, working together, but it's still people to people.
Right.
Even though you might call it business to business,
right.
It's people to people is what it is. And people want to see and know that you're there.
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
Definitely. So has social media been a good marketing tool for you over the years? I would imagine. Being video, it would.
Yeah,
right?
Social media has been great. Having a solid website's also been good. I've had a Squarespace website since literally college, back when I was doing my music production days.
Sure.
So I've repurposed that a couple times. Social media has been great. So has just being out in the community. And one of the interesting things about what I do is, yes, I have like my home-based studio space where I do my work, but also most of my work is out at local businesses and at churches doing my job. And so that's one of the things that's interesting. I'm both like a service and a product-based business, but the service is going out to the businesses that are my clients to help them out. And so people have seen me out in the community and they're like, hey, you're the cameraman. I'm like,
Right.
hey, that's me.
That's me.
I'm the cameraman.
That's me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, well, actually, my wife and daughters, they had seen you at Westside a bunch of times. And I'm told them, yeah, I'm meeting Noah down today. And, oh, yeah, Noah for camera. I see you with the camera all the time.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
That's
Yep,
me.
that's Noah.
It's so funny. One of my clients is Springfield Christian School, and they're a fantastic client. They're doing really great work over there. And I've popped into those classrooms so many times. And so all the kids, when they see me in church or in the everyday life, they're like, oh, it's the cameraman.
Right.
It's hilarious. But it's cool because it's like, I remember being that age and looking at the adults and being like, wow, they're doing so much cool stuff. I can't wait till I'm that age and doing cool stuff in the community. And here I am. And so it's a kind of a cool full circle moment of
That about it. And you're known for what you do.
Yeah.
Too. I mean, it's awesome.
Mhm.
It's very cool. So you mentioned getting out in the community. I know you're involved with Illinois Local, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do with them?
Yeah, Illinois Local's been great. They have some great networking things. I'm also involved with RISE, the Young Professionals group. So every once in a while, I'll pop into one of those various events, but sometimes it's tricky because as a solopreneur, some of my shoots are on the same days and times as the networking events. And so I'm able to pop in every now and then to talk with not just clients, but also my fellow business owners and friends, which is so great. But at the same time, like I said, some of the networking that's been so good is just being out in the community and being in various places.
It's huge. I mean, that part of it, the networking component with all these different groups, we talk a lot about it on the show. That's really where you can create some really great collaboration points, find great partnerships and clients too, of course. But you spoke I was at an Illinois Local event, it might have been almost a year ago now.
Was that September?
Might have been September. You spoke at one, right?
Yeah,
Not too long ago.
Yeah, the Illinois Local has their conference and awards. And this year, conferences and awards is going to be at the Illinois Local Holiday Market at the State Fair. So they're combining the two things this year, which is going to be really neat. Last year, I spoke on AI and how to, everyone says, leverage AI to their business. And so that was a cool time to get to share my thoughts and knowledge on something that's been around for a few years now. And I think everyone's still kind of learning it because it just keeps getting better and better. But it's one of those things where I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's using it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many different applications for it, and it can create so many different efficiencies for you.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that people kind of get into probably that's not good is they feel like AI is going to solve all their issues.
Yeah,
and that's not the case. So AI is a phenomenal tool, but it's still a tool.
That's exactly my thought too.
So,
I can tell you AI is great for some of my administrative processes and things because I'm a creative person and that's where I really get my energy from. It's like, being around, I'm an extrovert. So being around people and doing creative things. And the one thing that's tricky about the business is it's a business. It's not just a creative thing, right? So there's legal documents you have to read and create and run through, and there's emails to write, and there's social media posts to write, and there's so many things that just are important for helping the business run, which are vital. But if that isn't your wheelhouse, you're gonna need some help. AI is an incredible virtual assistant,
no doubt about it,
but it does not touch my video production.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
And I think there are probably some people who are using AI for literally every aspect of their business.
Right.
And I'm like, where's the humanness?
Right.
I have a good friend of mine who is a phenomenal graphic designer, and I've given her name to a couple of local businesses, and she's made some great logos for them and some great branding packages and that type of stuff to help give them a really professional branding look. And as a creative person, I feel like it's my due diligence to keep referring people I know who can do a really great job. It's something that I'm not. I can do graphic design, but it's not my thing.
Right.
So if I can refer my friends and my clients to someone else who I know will do an excellent job at that thing, instead of having maybe AI do it. Because AI can do it, but we're seeing so many things where all AI things look the same now.
Right.
That's the ongoing joke.
Yeah, with all the flyers and everything.
That type of stuff. So, and I know there are a lot of creatives who are worried about AI taking their job and all that type of stuff. So I'm like, well, I can use AI for maybe some of the non-creative aspects of my business, but for any of the creative aspects, AI can't be creative. It's an algorithm.
Right.
It's numbers and patterns and that type of thing. But my friend can be creative. I can be creative. There are excellent photographers and videographers and graphic designers and web developers and all that type of stuff who are incredibly creative. And I would be doing them a disservice if I didn't refer people who needed their services to them.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Noah, so much great business stuff so far. Let's switch over to the personal side for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
What are some ways you elevate your life personally?
Oh gosh, I am a firm believer in being plugged into God's word and the local church. I mean, we've talked about Westside.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal. And there's always something new to learn when you crack open the Bible, and something that'll speak to you differently every single time. So much of what I do as the business for local Christian ministries is because I believe that what the church is doing ultimately is some of the most important work on planet Earth. Finding the lost and bringing them back and getting people into a relationship with Jesus, or people choosing to have a relationship with Jesus, is so incredibly important. And I think a lot of people are missing that. And so that's why I do what I do as Noah Schlosser Media. That's why one of my niches is Christian ministries.
Love it.
It's incredibly important. And ultimately, it's going to make an eternal difference. And the churches are making eternal differences. And so if I wasn't supporting them in what I'm doing with my own business, again, I'd be missing out on helping people find what I firmly believe is the most important aspect of life, is a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Absolutely. So were you always highly involved in the church growing up as a kid and everything, or did it come later?
Yeah, I've been super blessed to have been raised in a really faithful family. I didn't grow up at Westside. I grew up at a different church, but I got involved at Westside during my college years. I needed some practicum and internship credit.
Yeah,
and that type
absolutely.
Of thing. And as it happened to be at the time, my backyard neighbor, he doesn't live there anymore, but is the worship leader at Westside.
All right.
Eric.
Yeah.
And his neighbor was the head of audio.
There you go.
And so shout out to Eric and Grady if you're watching this.
And they do a phenomenal job.
They're
great.
amazing. And their heart for worship is just so great. And they're so passionate about what they do. And they've also been, on the professional and personal side, really good mentors. And they're super supportive of what I'm doing with the business. And they're always asking, how's it going? And it's so cool. Grady's daughter obviously goes to Westside, and she sees me, gives me a high five every now and then, because I saw her grow up, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, having a local church to plug into is incredibly important. And, open your Bible, you're going to find something in there that's going to speak to you. I firmly believe that. I also, when it comes to things to do in Springfield that I personally, that I love, food. There's some great local businesses that I'm a giant fan of. I love Westwoods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I love Sapori. Love Azteca.
Yeah.
All great businesses, local businesses that you can support.
Sapori, my girls love Sapori. It's
phenomenal.
Almost an every Friday. It's I think we should get Sapori. It seems like is what they say.
It's so true. It's just so good, and it's authentic and family run. And this is amazing. Also, fitness. So I take walks at least twice or 3 times a day. It's great for blood sugar. It's great for keeping things fresh. And I work out a couple times a week, whether at home or at Body Symmetry, another great local business. And
that's one I haven't been in, Body Symmetry.
Yeah.
I haven't been in that one.
They're great. I've been going there for a few years now with some family friends, and that's been really cool.
Those walks, the 2-3 walks, especially after meals, like you said, for your blood sugar, that's great.
Yeah.
it's great for digestion and getting the body back going after a meal.
Yeah. And I'm staring at a screen for a good majority of my day. And so I need time for my eyes to be okay, we're going to look at something that's not just 4 feet in front of us. We're going to look at, the sky, the birds, turn on some music, listen to a podcast here and there. Oh gosh, I'm a firm believer in the power of walks.
Oh yeah.
At the fair this year, I marked it a couple days ago. At the fair, I walked 10 miles. It was nuts. That was the most I'd ever walked in a long time, in a good span of however many hours.
No, it's crazy. I mean, a walk is just absolutely great for you. Like you said, I'm sitting there editing, and I'm like, all right, I've been editing for too long. Yeah. I need to go walk.
Yeah.
I need to get away from this screen.
Yeah, you got to, set yourself a timer for 30 minutes, 45 minutes every now and then. Just do some squats, do some push-ups, take a stroll around the house, stroll around the office, wherever you're working. But yeah, it's important to have good spiritual health. It's important to have good physical health. It's important to have good relational health. All those things are paramount to living, I think, a healthy lifestyle. And you can do that as a small business owner. Small business owners are incredibly busy all the time.
Yes.
But I think your business is really only as healthy as you are. And the more healthy you are, the better A, you'll feel, but also B, the better you can serve other people.
Prioritize that health, man. You have to. Like you said, you're not any good to anybody if you're not healthy, if you're not taking care of yourself. So prioritize that, even if you are a small business owner that's, like you said, working how many hours a day, week,
14,
whatever, never off.
12, 15 hours a day. Yeah.
The whole thing. So what's on tap for Noah Schlosser Media? Anything coming up soon?
Oh, goodness. Well, like I mentioned before, I'm always trying to learn new skills and figure out the best ways to support my clients. Right now, the sky's the limit, really. I feel like I'm still on a really great trajectory for helping out the Springfield area, and I'm really proud of the work that I've done so far. Sky's the limit. I'm going to be doing a lot more research and figuring out ways I can use the skills and abilities that I have and the tech that I have, and doing a lot of prayer. That's something that's, again, super important to how I run my business and run my life. It's God's leading me. I'm following along and being like, okay, we're doing this next.
There you go.
Let's go. Trusting where you're leading.
Absolutely. Well, no, I always like to close with these last couple of things. You already touched on one. I might get the same thing, but let's give the audience a piece of advice, one on the personal side, one on the professional side, to help them elevate their life or business.
I think on the personal side, well, I've mentioned before, personal and professional. Give your life to Jesus Christ, get plugged into a local church, open your Bibles, find a good Bible-believing church. It's the most important thing you can do with your life. Personally, I would also say you definitely are who you surround yourself with. And if you surround yourself with people who are supportive and kind and speak truth into your life, that's going to serve you and be better for you and better for your community than if you're constantly feeling negative, if you're constantly taking in way too much news. Try to stay off your phones.
Yeah. Stay away from the news. Yeah.
Yes. Stay away from the news. Really try to look for the positive in life. Business-wise, I would say, I feel like everybody always, and this is great. Everyone says get involved in the community.
Sure.
That is so important.
But it is. People say it because it's so important.
Yeah. I would also say continue to be a lifelong learner. The world is full of information pertaining to the things that you're passionate about and the ways that God has gifted you. And so if you can learn to steward those gifts in a way that, again, you can market and help build up not only your business, but businesses and the community around you as your business, right? It's life-changing, and I think it can change other people's lives as well. Yeah, that's probably those two.
Oh, love it. Now you mentioned no negativity. I wear this every single day. No negativity allowed. And then on the other side
perfect.
is be positive. Just a little reminder every single day.
It's one of the most important things. And yeah, I think the world purposely tries to push negativity on you. And there are lots of reasons where you could be negative. Like, the world is hard. Life is difficult, but that's no reason to stop going.
Right.
Don't let that sink in.
Exactly. And Noah, is there anything we can do community-wide to help all of us here elevate Springfield and the surrounding communities?
Funny enough, it goes back to the negativity and positivity thing. Yeah. And I'll end with a story here. Starting in high school, even up to now, I've heard people talk about Springfield in such a negative light. I had, peers who were like, oh, I can't wait to leave Springfield. Springfield's the worst. Oh, I can't wait to get out of here. I'm only here because my family's here. I can't wait to get out of here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, Springfield's great. If you go to any city, any town, any state, it's going to have problems.
Yeah, they all have some issues.
They all have some issues. And I think the more we can practice some gratitude, a practice of like daily gratitude. Wake up in the morning, you think about what are the top 3 things that you're grateful for. Or middle of the day, you're feeling negative, like, okay, hold on. I have a roof over my head. I'm doing what I love. The weather's nice outside. I'm getting pizza tonight. Like those types of things. I think if we can apply that not only to our own lives, but also to Springfield. Springfield's got such rich history. Springfield has such a great community. Springfield has so many places to walk. Springfield has some amazing sports teams. Springfield has XYZ. If you look for the negative, you will always find the negative. And that's no way to live your life. If you look for the positive, you'll always find something to be positive about.
Come on.
And I think not only will that help elevate our own individual lives, but it'll help us elevate Springfield.
Strong. Love it. Well, Noah, if somebody wants to do some business with you, where do they go to learn more about you, man?
You can find me on the World Wide Web. That's www.noahschlosser.com. And you can also find me on social media. So Instagram, Facebook, that's at Noah Schlosser Media.
There you go. Appreciate you coming and spending some time with me, man. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
Good to have another, is it audiophile? Is that the correct term? Another audiophile in the room? Yeah, there we go. All right, man. Well, we're going to let Noah get back to elevating Springfield. But for the rest of y'all, we'll be right back. Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, Their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust. Looking for personalized insurance with hometown care? David Hilst American Family Insurance Agents here to help you protect what matters most: your family, your home, and your dreams. Whether it's auto, home, life, business, David and his team are proud to serve the Springfield community with trusted advice and reliable coverage. Local service, real relationships, peace of mind. Call today or stop by their office. They can build your dream protection plan together. Call 217-726-6343. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hey, don't forget, while you're out on social, check ours out. You can check my personal one out at Robert Ferriell at everywhere. Check out those Elevate Springfield pages, those Big Dog Business Coaching pages as well. Check us out over on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, give us a like or a follow on any of those channels. We would certainly appreciate it. So hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.